President Trump speaking at Charlie Kirk's memorial service, taking note of his love of Chicago, a city Trump may soon be sending the National Guard to. Let's bring in U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California, Bill Assaley, and Illinois State Senator Darby Hills. Thank you both for coming on. State Senator, to you first. I want to play this soundbite. This is the Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino. He's talking about Chicago, and he said the following.
Perhaps Governor Pritzker would do well to realize the danger that his law enforcement officers are in every day because he chooses illegal aliens over American citizens. He chooses to allow illegal alien gang members by the thousands into Chicago and Illinois. That's the real danger.
And what nobody has noted here, Darby, is the fact they've had 550 arrests of these, including gang members, suspected killers, and rapists. And Pritzker's like, we want to keep those people.
Thank you for having me, Trace. Yes, only in Illinois, Governor Pritzker's Illinois, could a gang member and a convicted murderer that's actually already in custody be released rather than be deported. This is a situation that just happened last week. Governor Pritzker is protecting criminals rather than protecting families. There was a situation where the convicted murderer, and this isn't just one offense, this is an offense where the individual beat this 21-year-old to death. They were in custody, and rather than go along with the order from ICE and be able to deport this individual, this convicted murderer was then let out on the streets for 3 days, and resources by ICE and safety of the community was affected, and they had to take that individual back into custody rather than deport that violent criminal.
Yeah, and there are stories like that. I mean, we hear all the time different stories like that. Meantime, Bill Assaley, Gavin Newsom bragging about the new California law banning masks on most law enforcement. Here he is.
I'll be signing a bill, the first in the nation, saying enough. To ICE, unmask. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
Well, they're afraid of getting doxxed and killed is what they're afraid of. But Bill, come on, he can't do that. He can't tell federal agents what you can and cannot do in California.
Absolutely not. And he knows that. The state of California has no jurisdiction, and they can't have jurisdiction. You can't have every state making laws about what the federal government can and can't do. The governor knows this is silly. He's doing this just to appease his radical base and to make it look like he's doing something. If he wants to regulate us, the federal government, he needs to win a federal election.
Yeah, and he's trying, but good luck with that one. Meantime, FoxNews.com writes the following here. Pritzker's office scrubs photo with Chicago peacekeeper later charged in deadly robbery. Pritzker's statement in return, State Senator, is the governor meets hundreds of people in communities every week and is often asked to take photos. And here, by the way, is the photo we are talking about, and I'll get your comment here, this is the photo. He's a peacemaker. He's getting paid not to commit crimes, and he goes out and commits a big crime that costs somebody their life. And Pritzker's going to say, this is just some random photo that I take and governors take all the time. That's the kind of rhetoric you get in Chicago. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. So that so-called peacekeeper is part of his program, which, by the way, all the taxpayers of the state of Illinois are funding in order for individuals not to commit crimes. Well, that peacekeeper, which, by the way, was also wanted in 4 states, then went on to do a crash and grab on Michigan Avenue and then take $700,000 in merchandise and then get in a getaway car and get in a tragic accident, killing an innocent man who was just on his way home from his last shift of work and was about to be a father. Now there's a child without a father. And what are we doing? We're protecting criminals.
Yeah, again, meantime, Gavin Newsom's press office posted the following here, which even when I read it, I'm like, what is going on here? Put this up on the screen. Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day today. You're welcome, America. What governor's office puts that up, Bill?
I was shocked when I read that. That was the day before Charlie Kirk's memorial, just the week after the assassination. That's the exact same rhetoric we saw leading up to Charlie Kirk's assassination. For him to do that, they knew what they were doing. They did that on purpose. It's reckless, and that's why I referred him to the Secret Service for a threat assessment.
It's one of those things that's unacceptable, and you think, has anybody spoken to the press office and say, why are you doing this?
He's enabled these crazy staffers. He's trying to act like a tough guy. He thinks he's mimicking Trump. It's so unauthentic. It doesn't work, and this is really reckless because you got people on the left, these left-wing wackos, they get activated by posts like that.
Especially in this climate. It is